I moved into my new place last week, but I haven't done home protection yet. I like to wait until I feel settled in the space, so I usually give it about a couple days or a week to feel settled in the space before I do protections. But a lot of people have asked me to do a video on how I do protections, so let's go through it. Obviously, protections are going to be different for everybody, so do what feels right to you and utilize the energies that feel the best to you. I personally prefer starting with directional energies. What I mean by this is the directional energies and elements associated with each direction. The common associations you'll find with each direction is that north is earth, east is air, south is fire, and west is water. And then the middle or the top is spirit. What I like to do is to look at the compass on my phone to find the north direction, which is this way. I prefer to use my dominant hand, which would be my right hand, so the hand that I write with the most, to do this work, because that is my giving hand, which is my most powerful hand to do spell work with. I like to place my hand on the wall in that direction and ask all of the beings, entities, energies, elements, and towers of that direction to watch over my space. You can say things along the lines of, I protect my space from intruders and people who wish me harm and the people associated with me. Say whatever feels right. If it feels right, then you're doing it right. I'll then go to the next direction and do the same thing. Then you repeat that with each corresponding wall. Even if your house is not a square, this works. I like to imagine a white web energy extending from my hand and expanding to cover and encompass that side of my home. I then imagine the Algiz rune being created for each direction on that side of the home space. After I do that, I go to the center of my home, which is where my altar is, and I go to my altar and welcome in spirit to watch over the entire house. I like to call on the spirits of the home space first because there is an energy and a spirit to all of your home spaces. I then like to call on the spirits of the land that I'm over, as well as asking my patrons and my guides to watch over the space for me, saying the same thing that I did when I did each wall. I then like to imagine both of my patron sigils being carved into the whole entire space. And then I like to end it with an offering. You can optionally add a protective sigil. I usually use Algiz on your doors and windows. You can draw it with moon water, sun water, special oils, or you can just draw it with your finger. Like I said, home protection is going to be different for everyone. Everybody does it differently, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. But this is just the way that has always worked for me, and my space definitely feels a lot better now that I've done it. Whether you do this when you first move in or after a little bit, after you're settled, it should work either way, and I hope this helps.